At one time, Kentucky was the greatest producer of hemp in the United States, but that changed decades ago when the industry went near dormant. Now, hemp is undergoing a renaissance in our country, and our state is at the forefront once again. Connor McHugh is here in our studio with more.
It all comes down to changes in legislation at the federal level, followed by businesses in states like here in Kentucky taking that risk. And now 5 years into this new experiment, the industry is growing every year, but it has a long way to go in the types of products on the market and their regulation.
The CBD oils and tinctures that you see on the shelves today are derived from this material is where it starts.
It may not look like much, but this hemp flower brings in a lot of the other kind of green for Bill Hilliard these days. His Winchester-based company, Italo Holdings, is one of Kentucky's biggest industrial hemp producers, and it's about to get a lot bigger.
So we're going from a 6,000 square foot building for where our primary fulfillment and work was, into a 50,000 square foot building.
It's a far cry from 5 years ago when Italo Holdings was one of only 6 Kentucky businesses allowed to grow industrial hemp. Before that, it was illegal. Then the 2014 Farm Bill changed things for the first time in 44 years. Soon, Italo's modest 2-farmer and 23-acre setup grew to what it is now. More than 100 farmers and 2,000 acres.
It's unbelievable. It's just exploded since the passage of that bill.
That success is largely due to cannabidiol, or CBD products.
We've definitely seen a growth. We ship all over the state. We have people coming to our store from all over the state.
Adrian Polinack is co-owner of Bluegrass Hemp Oil. The Lexington-based business offers CBD oils, capsules, bath bombs, and much more. Products with the extract are popular because of the supposed calming effects it brings without the THC of marijuana.
It's definitely expanding, and we're seeing it mostly from a lot of new businesses coming into the market.
Last year, U.S. retail sales for CBD products were estimated at $600 million to $2 billion, and experts estimate it'll grow to $16 billion by 2025. But with all that growth, Polinack says one fear is some companies will cut corners as there are no federal regulations requiring companies to test for CBD.
Is this a health trend right now, or is this something sustainable?
I really do think it's something sustainable. I think as long as customers have access to high quality CBD hemp extracts, they're going to see the improvements in the quality of life that they're looking for.
In Kentucky alone, hemp producers reported nearly $58 million in sales last year. This year, more than 50,000 new acres have been approved for hemp production, more than triple the amount allowed in 2018. After that, there's no telling what comes next.
Industrial hemp today is where corn or soybeans were 50 years ago or 60 years ago. So there's just in the at the crop level, there's a lot of improvement. At the processing level, there's a lot of improvement, and the sky's the limit on what the market for and the demand will be for these products.
Now next month, the Food and Drug Administration will hold its first public hearing on CBD focused on safety, labeling, and product quality. Getting that possible stamp of approval one day could both legitimize the industry even more while making it the market safer for consumers. Conroy, back to you.
Now from hemp to another big topic, medical marijuana. In some other states, people use marijuana for medical reasons, and they do it legally. Here in Kentucky, it's still a crime, but that doesn't mean it's not happening. Carolina Buchek is here in our studio to explain.
Medical marijuana triggers emotional arguments from both sides. There are people that are very much against it. They say it's an illegal drug that should not be allowed here in the Commonwealth. But others say it's a type of medicine that works for them, and they want to be able to treat their pain and their symptoms using it without the fear of going to jail. But because it is still a crime, many people were afraid to go on camera to talk to us about it, but 2 men did, and they say they're willing to fight for medical marijuana.
Bottle after bottle of pills, strong pills.
Some pain medications, some muscle relaxants, some vitamins, some blood pressure medicine, sleep aids.
This is what Jaime Montalvo's day revolves around.
I got on a pill diet, basically. I would wake up in the morning, take a fistful of pills. For lunch, I would have a smaller fistful, and then for dinner, I'd have a large fistful again.
This now empty bag is worth thousands of dollars.
They're very strong opioids in here.
And this is just some of what it takes to treat Montalvo's multiple sclerosis.
If you have a chronic illness and you're a disabled patient, you are prescribed minimum 3 to 5 prescriptions.
These pills are not Montalvo's. They're Chris Briesman's.
This is my pain medicine. This is methadone. It's a 5 milligram pill.
These pills help Briesman make it through the day, but they have side effects.
Pills in the morning, pills in the evening, and hope for the best.
His pain makes it impossible to work, so he spends his day taking things slowly. A few bites of food, some video games, and a small walk with his best friend Louie.
Nice, isn't it, Louie? Go on, go play.
But this is not how Briesman imagined his life.
This is from Whiteman Air Force Base. This is them telling me goodbye.
He once had a thriving military career.
I worked at Whiteman Air Force Base around the B-2s.
A career that was cut short.
The bullet went in here. It exited out my rear.
A gunman in Colorado almost killed him.
They think I died once.
Years later, he's left with these pills. Just like Montalvo is left with his. Both of these men have one more thing in common.
Cannabis was effective for me.
I just couldn't take it anymore and tried it, and the outcome was way more than anybody expected, and I've continued since.
Briesman says thanks to medical marijuana, he went from 29 prescriptions a day down to 3.
It all wipes away when I take a puff of cannabis.
Montalvo says medical marijuana also helped him out. So much so that he started growing his own under this porch behind closed doors.
Suppressed my nausea, my vomiting. I was able to sleep a little bit better at night. My pain went down.
But it all came crashing down when the bank down the street was robbed.
A guy robbed a bank at the end of my street, runs in front of my home, and behind him come cops with dogs. They smell my home, where I was growing right there.
Montalvo was arrested and ended up losing custody of his son.
I lost custody for 6 months, and it wasn't for cultivation, it wasn't for possession, it wasn't for trafficking. It was simply testing positive for cannabis.
Montalvo now fights in Frankfurt. He started Kentuckians for Medicinal Marijuana and lobbies to make cannabis legal. Briesman is a part of it too, fighting for what he calls his medicine.
I just want to pay my taxes on this stuff. I don't want to give my money to a drug dealer.